This is the story of a man who lost everything, was laughed at by the world, and still became one of the most powerful names in Hollywood. The rise of Robert Downey Jr. is not just inspiring, it's nearly unbelievable. Robert John Downey Jr. was born in New York City on April 4, 1965, into a world of art and chaos. His father, Robert Downey Sr., was a filmmaker who introduced him to drugs at the age of 6, yes, 6 years old. His first experience with marijuana was from his own father. His childhood wasn't normal, it was never safe. By age 8, he was acting. By age 16, he dropped out of high school to pursue his career. By age 20, he was starring in big films like Less Than Zero, where he played a drug addict. But life would imitate art, he wasn't acting anymore, he was the addict. The 90s were brutal. In 1996, he was arrested for driving under the influence, possession of heroin, cocaine, and a .357 Magnum. Weeks later, he broke into his neighbor's home and passed out in their bed. He missed court, was sent to prison, released, arrested again, rehab, relapse, jail, repeat. He was sentenced to 3 years in state prison and served almost a year. He said later that prison was like being buried alive. Hollywood gave up on him, he lost jobs, insurance companies wouldn't cover him. He was labeled unstable. He was fired from Ally McBeal after a final drug arrest. He was broke, divorced, ashamed. But something changed in 2003, he met Susan Levin, a film producer. She saw who he could be, not who he was. She made it clear, no sobriety, no relationship. And he made a choice, he threw his drugs into the Pacific Ocean, cold turkey. He fought through the cravings, the anxiety, the judgment, the shame, day after day, year after year. He chose recovery. But even clean, he was still blacklisted, no studio wanted him. And then Kevin Feige at Marvel took the biggest risk in casting history. In 2008, Robert Downey Jr. was cast as Tony Stark in Iron Man, a billionaire genius with a dark past who rebuilt himself from nothing. Sound familiar? Iron Man was a hit, a global phenomenon. And Robert Downey Jr. became the face of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He led it for over a decade, from the Avengers to Endgame. He helped build a $25 billion franchise. He went from liability to the most bankable actor in the world. He became the highest paid actor on the planet, earning over $75 million a year. He was nominated for 2 Academy Awards, won multiple Critics Awards, and more than anything, he stayed clean. He now advocates for mental health and addiction recovery. He gives back. He speaks with honesty, not as a perfect man, but as a man who survived. This is the story of a man who had every reason to stay down and chose to rise again and again. So, if you ever feel like you've gone too far, messed up too much, burned too many bridges, remember Robert Downey Jr. He didn't just make a comeback, he built an empire from ashes. Subscribe to Rise to Riches for more stories of transformation and greatness.